Thanks, Buhle. It's now time to check in with the leading stories in our Sunday newspaper headlines, starting off with the Sunday Independent. The headline, Gumede Inclusion, a rebellion against NEC. The former eThekwini mayor is an odds-on favourite to emerge as the ANC KZN regional chairperson. It's an apparent challenge to the step-aside rule. And the former eThekwini mayor, Gumede, has been cleared by the KwaZulu-Natal ANC, as we know, to run for the regional chairperson position. And what has been seen as a rebellious decision aimed at consolidating the province before the December National Conference. So this move's been described by one political analyst weighing in that the provincial ANC leadership was essentially showing the National Executive Committee the middle finger, so to speak. So it's also mobilizing support in the wake of pending criminal cases against leaders such as former President Jacob Zuma, former Health Minister Zweli Mkhize. Of course, we know that they hail from KwaZulu-Natal, and they're also hoping, of course, to ensure that their slate is benefiting from eThekwini, which of course is large for the ANC. And still on the front page, right below the picture of Zandile Gumede, accused in Senzo Mayiwa case, sentenced to 12 years in jail. Now, one of the men who was allegedly involved in the murder of the former Bafana and Orlando Pirates captain, Senzo Mayiwa, has been sentenced to 12 years in jail this week after he shot his then-girlfriend more than 10 times in a fit of rage. Muzi Sibiya, who's accused number one in this murder case, was sentenced at the Vosloorus Regional Magistrates Court on Thursday after that incident. Bafana captain Senzo Mayiwa being shown there during a soccer match in Johannesburg in March of 2013. And we know he was shot dead in 2014 at his girlfriend's mother's house in Vosloorus. Many question marks around this case.
Absolutely, especially with the documentary that's now being airing on Netflix as well. A lot of question marks raised again as a result of that. I just want to go into staying with the Sunday Independence. South Sudanese are held hostage without enjoying peace dividends. The peace partners to the revitalized agreement on resolution of conflict in the Republic of South Sudan reached a deal on the 2nd of April to unify security command structures. The deal was brokered by neighboring Sudan. It was an important milestone and allowed for the integration of armed opposition commanders from Sudan's People Liberation Movement, Army in opposition, and South Sudan's Opposition Alliance into the Sudan People's Defense Force under one command structure, with President Salva Kiir being the commander-in-chief, deputized by Riek Machar. Now, according to the deal, the opposition commanders will be integrated into the armed forces within a week. This will be followed by the graduation and deployment of unified forces to be implemented within a period of not exceeding 2 months. While the agreement was on a peace activist and co-founder of the Organization for Non-Violence and Development based in Juba in South Sudan, he holds a PhD in Management Sciences, was saying that the Vice President of Sudan was unfortunately part of the parties of this conversation, but it doesn't seem like all the pieces of this is coming together the way they would like to. So that's quite an interesting story there regarding what's happening in that part of the world.
Let's now turn our attention to the Sunday World, which reads, Premier reveals plot against Ramaphosa. And taking the story to page 2, it speaks of the presidential imbizo that took place yesterday in the Free State. And the Free State Premier Sisi Ntobela yesterday dropping a bombshell as she disclosed secret plots which were hatched to disrupt President Ramaphosa's presidential imbizo yesterday. Addressing the event in Bloemfontein, Ntombela said that she warned the president about the threats, which included a staging protest at the Bloemfontein venue where Ramaphosa was set to speak. Ntombela told a bemused gathering, which included several members of Ramaphosa's cabinet, such as Police Minister Bheki Cele, Human Settlements Minister Mamloko Kubai, that the threats included mobs who would throw insults at the president. And the president, Ntombela saying that she was listening carefully when these plans were discussed and listened when thoughts emerged that he should come to Mangaung, and now things turned into some sort of a chaotic event. Now, still in the Sunday World, Threat to King Misuzulu's life causes panic among royals. Fears for the safety of the AmaZulu king have been heightened ahead of his coronation, which is set to take place at the end of May. Sunday World establishing that security around Misuzulu has been beefed up since the security threat last Saturday in Newcastle, where he was apparently told that his life was in imminent danger. So the dynamics of the royal house there unfolding ahead of the much-anticipated coronation set to take place next month.
I want to move to the Sunday Times. Mpho will touch on the front page of it, but I'm sure you'll see it on your screen in a moment. I want to focus on what's in the business section, though, of the newspaper. It says, economic recovery gets an extra kick. The end of the state of disaster boosts revival as confidence picks up. The official end of the national state of disaster this week is expected to give added impetus to an economic revival that has seen South Africans returning to malls, restaurants, sporting and entertainment venues. A CEO of the JSE-listed Liberty to Degrees Group, whose portfolios include Sandton City, Eastgate Mall, and hotels such as the Sandton Sun and the Sandton Towers, as well as the Convention Centre in Sandton, has said that the end of the state of disaster this week has been a boost in people's confidence to start booking again at hotels and at the Convention Centre. People are showing a great enthusiasm for new conferences as well. So it's good to see that it seems like life is slowly getting back to not even the new normal, but the old normal that we really do miss so much.
Absolutely. Taking a look at the front page of the Sunday Times, Cyril's KZN election test conference, a crucial conference in a huge ANC region, a bellwether of president's support, reads the Sunday Times. It says that the president of the ANC is facing a crunch test of his leadership in eThekwini this weekend as opponents mount a fight back to stop him being elected unopposed at the party's elective conference later this year. They are all lobbying intensely for former Health Minister Zweli Mkhize, provincial heavyweight, to challenge Ramaphosa in December in a move that would see prominent members of the party's so-called radical economic transformation faction in the ANC's driving seat. eThekwini region, as we've been hearing throughout the course of this week, is the biggest ANC region in KwaZulu-Natal with an estimated 100,000 members. Now, because of its size and its influence, the outcome there is expected to give an indication of what direction KwaZulu-Natal will take. Of course, a developing story. We're keeping a close eye on it. Our reporters Ziyanda Ngobo and Kosikona Duma in KZN. And, of course, leaving it there for now as we round up some of the big stories that we're tracking as we look at what's making news in the newspapers.
There's a lot more for you to, of course, sink your teeth into in the morning, so do go out there and get yourself a copy of the newspapers for this morning. That is a wrap on that. Over